This is what happens when you try and box out Jalen Duren. 6'10", 250 pounds, Jalen Duren is one of the best rebounders and offensive rebounders in the league, averaging over 12 boards and over 4.5 offensive rebounds a game, which is top 3 in both categories. I mean, look at the size of this man. Of course he can rebound. And you pair that with the ability to explode off the floor, and you get an absolute monster in the paint. The kind of guy who can also catch lobs from anywhere on the floor.
Make you smile, you go, wow, just like that jam.
What you might not know about Jalen Duren, however, is he can also do things like this.
Jalen Duren keeps that dribble, fires over Huff, fills it up!
Yes, that is 6'10", 250 pound Jalen Duren bringing the ball up the floor, going behind the back, between the legs, and then casually stepping in to a silky jumper. And if you're wondering, no, this isn't a one-off. Jalen Duren is really that good. And for a guy who is an elite rebounder, an elite athlete, is becoming elite defensively, what exactly are you supposed to do when he also moves like this? And when I say that wasn't a one-off, from that same game, a game with no Cade Cunningham by the way, in which JD went off for 31 and 15, he also did this, where he brought the ball up the floor again, this time driving right at Isaiah Jackson. And how about the turnaround jumper this time, because he's just that good. And this is the scariest part about Jalen Duren's game. Not only does he have the handle and the fluidity to make moves like this, but what's more important is he actually has the touch. Because it's cool if you're a center who can make moves like this, but if you are bricking 70% of those shots, just get back in the paint, man. Just get back in the paint. JD is not one of those guys, because whilst he hasn't taken a ton of mid-range shots so far, he's shooting a career-high 78% from the free throw line on a career-high number of attempts. And generally speaking, if you can shoot nearly 80% from the line, if you have the fluidity he has on those jumpers, you have the touch to shoot from all spots on the floor. And whilst it's fun to show you these clips of him hitting pull-up jumpers, because it just looks ridiculous that someone that size can do it, honestly, it's not the pull-up jumper that should scare the league. It's how well he moves.
Duren to the rack. Did I just see Duren get some work?
You can hear Austin Rivers in the commentary shocked, because you don't think someone like Jalen Duren should be able to do this. He can. Just like here where he's getting pressed by Badartse 30 feet from the basket. And this is what he does really well. He looks around like he's going for that handoff, freezing the defender, and then just explodes with that quick crossover, getting to the rim for the and one. Or again, getting the ball in the middle of the floor, and look at that explosive step. Shout out to Dre, but he had zero chance of even getting near Duren on that play. He wasn't even in the same postcode with how quickly he got past him. And from the recent game against Atlanta as well, whenever JD was getting just a bit of space, he would attack. And once he's able to get his shoulder into you, what are you supposed to do? Not only is he built like a superhero, but he's got the foot speed, the quickness, and then the touch to finish once he gets that bit of space. And when I say there's not much you can do, this is also why he's averaging a career high in free throws a game. Because with that burst of speed and strength, your only option is to foul him on a lot of those possessions. And what's even more impressive is he can also do all of this out of pick and rolls. Like here where he gets the pass from Robinson, and with very little space to operate, look at the Euro to get around MPJ. And if you think this is just scoring, not only can Duren use his footwork to get around defenders in tight situations to score, but if the defense collapses on him, he can then make dimes to his teammates. Just look at him here, set the screen for Cade. He gets the ball in the pocket, and with Svi helping over, look at the dime to Asar. Or again on this play where it's that same screen for Cade, and this time, watch him use his eyes to freeze Merrill for a bit before finding Toby wide open for three. And this is only a tiny bit of what makes Jalen Duren so good. This season, he has been a monster in every sense of the word, averaging 20 and 12 a game in less than 30 minutes a night, and doing so on nearly 70% from the field. This is an all-star, and with the improvements he's made from last year to this year, All-NBA isn't crazy to suggest in the near future either, because not only has he gone to a different level offensively, but for a guy who was once called a bad defender, he is helping anchor one of the best defenses in the NBA. And you're probably bored of me saying this, but once again, it's because of that fluidity. Just like here where Carter comes to set the screen for Bane, and with Bane attacking downhill, look at JD slide his feet over and the perfect timing on that block. Or this time where again it's that screen, and with Buzelis attacking downhill, it's the timing. Not just moving his feet, but meeting him at the apex. Honestly, when you look at the improvements in JD's game, it might not even be the shooting or the footwork on offense that is most impressive. Let me say it again, this man was considered a bad defender at one point, an empty stats kind of guy, and right now he is the starting center on the second best defense in the league. Now, it would be wrong of me to talk about the Pistons defense, the Pistons rim protection, without mentioning his partner in crime. Because I think right now the most underrated player in the entire NBA is Isaiah Stewart. And what has made this Pistons defense so elite is you either have one of these guys on the floor holding down the paint, or you have both of these guys on the floor. And in 100 minutes this season, when both of these guys are on the floor, the Pistons are nearly OKC level good defensively, which makes sense when you can barely score in the paint against them and you aren't securing rebounds either. I know people still have this perception of Isaiah Stewart just being a guy that goes in and tries to punch people. That's cool, but you're gonna find out one way or another this is one of the best defenders in the league who can also knock down threes and do everything with or without Jalen Duren. I just wanted to say that. And we saw it again against a Hawks team that were red hot entering the game. Duren came up with a massive block late in the game, with Daniels driving at him, just that verticality and strength to stay completely vertical whilst absorbing the contact and swatting the shot. I've seen a lot of people talk about the Pistons making that move for a second star like Lowry or even Zion. Right now, Jalen Duren is that second star, and not only is he a perfect complement to Cade Cunningham, but we are starting to see even when Cade isn't on the floor, you can give him the ball and let him go to work. Oh, and he just turned 22 yesterday. You better pay this man, because we're looking at a future All-NBA center next to Cade Cunningham for the next decade. I'm not going to say who it reminds me of, but those guys in LA were pretty good, right? Too soon? Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing, dropping a like would be cool. Have a great day. Bye.